Hello, Tokyo. I am Evangelos Dragonas. I am a digital forensic examiner, currently pursuing my PhD in the area of IoT Forensics at the University of Piraeus here in Greece. It is truly a pleasure to be presenting once again at the SANS DFIR Summit. It is even more special for me to be part of the inaugural SANS DFIR APAC Summit. Today, I will be sharing insights from the research that Professor Kostas Lambrinodakis, Michael Kochis, and I collaborated on. My presentation is entitled IoT Forensics, Exploiting an Unexplored Piece of Evidence in CCTV Investigation. Without any further ado, let's dive in. Before we delve into today's topic, I would like to briefly go over a few preliminary notes. To start with, I'm sorry for the spoiler, but this unexplored source of evidence is no other than the CCTV system's log records. Next, our research recently resulted in the publication of one paper, with another one being currently under review for publication. This talk is heavily based on the findings of our research. Lastly, due to time constraints, only certain insights could be included in this talk. Please refer to the publication for more information. And with that, let us begin this presentation by discussing some IoT statistics. Statistics about IoT connected devices worldwide indicate their number will potentially surpass 15 billion by the end of 2023 and could go up as high as nearly 30 billion by 2030. This number is huge, and in my humble opinion, will affect and probably reshape digital forensics for good. A significant portion of the IoT world is occupied by CCTV surveillance systems. These devices can be found everywhere and frequently record important information related to criminal activity. Consequently, their digital forensic examination often becomes critical to investigation. On the other hand, perpetrators might seek ways to tamper with this evidence in an attempt to hide their tracks and avoid prosecution. In an effort to contribute to the field of IoT forensics, we chose HIKVISION and DAHUA Technology as a focus of our study. Both HIKVISION and DAHUA Technology are Chinese manufacturers specializing in security and surveillance equipment. They are considered among the leaders in the global surveillance market. Lastly, both companies distribute their CCTV products with either standard or proprietary file systems. But why? Why did we choose these manufacturers in the first place? Well, the motivation for our research was based on the following reasons. These companies are considered among the leaders in the CCTV market. Despite their significant global market share, research regarding the digital forensics of their CCTV systems is scarce and currently only limited to recovering video footage, overlooking all the important information that resides within their log record. These log records remained unexplored by many commercial tools and freeware, yet they can be really important for real investigation. The research objectives of this study were as follows. Identify the storage location and structure of these log records. Elaborate on the methods of collecting this evidence source. Examine and interpret these log records and report findings and contribute to free and open source software. As far as the hardware equipment is concerned, we used 6 HIKVISION and 5 DAHUA Technology CCTV systems, totaling 11 CCTV systems. Of these, 8 were XVRs, 2 were NVRs, and 1 was an IP camera. Regarding the software used in this study, for the acquisition of the hard drives, FTK Imager was employed. For the manual analysis of collected evidence, H6D, X-Ways Forensic, DB Browser for SQLite, and SQLite were the tools of choice. For bypassing access to Web UI, we utilized Google Chrome in conjunction with DAHUA Login Bypass extension. For cloning and mounting the collected evidence, OSF clone and arsenal mounter served our purposes. For the automatic processing of collected evidence, we relied on DVR examiner, video investigation portable, HX recovery for DVR and NVR, HIKVISION local playback, and DAHUA Technology disk manager. The versions of the HIKVISION and DAHUA Technology GUI and Web UI are also included in this slide. Pertaining to our methodology, it unfolded in 4 phases, namely preparation, collection, analysis, and verification. During the preparation phase, hardware was configured and installed in our laboratory. The CCTV systems were then operational for 2 months, and multiple actions were performed during this period. In the collection phase, we gathered the evidence of the study. Hard drives were removed and acquired. We used clone drives to export log records from the CCTV system's GUI and Web UIs. During the analysis phase, we investigated where and how each log record got stored. We interpreted these log records and assessed how commercial tools and freeware process them. Additionally, we developed a new tool to assist with this process. Finally, in the verification phase, we validated the results reported by our newly developed tool. Now that we have concluded the introduction, let us explore the results of our research on HIKVISION systems. HIKVISION sits its CCTV product with a proprietary file system, known as the HIKVISION file system. The HIKVISION file system has previously researched by Han et al. And Sadipa et al. We used their research as a starting point and focused on the log records part. To access the log records of a HIKVISION CCTV system, one should use the GUI or Web UI and navigate to Configuration, followed by the Maintenance window. From there, you can select the desired log to export. Clicking the Export button allows you to save them as text files. However, it is important to note that exporting a record is limited to 2,000 entries per text file. As a result, exporting all stored logs could be a time-consuming process. Even more challenging, if an unknown password is set, it might hinder access to these log records. Therefore, there emerges a need to extract them without relying on access to either the GUI or Web UI. But before that, where do these log records actually reside in the backend? Well, they are stored within the hard drive of the CCTV system. Upon examining the initial sectors of the HIKVISION file system, we typically found the starting offset to be 64,041,472, with a total size of 16,002,048 bytes. Now, let's explain the structure of this log record. Each log entry starts with its signature, which in ASCII translates to RAT. Following that, 4 bytes are allocated to store the creation time of this log entry. Now, it is important to note that this time reflects the CCTV local time, not the UTC time zone. The subsequent 2 bytes represent the major type of the log entry, and the 2 bytes after that capture the minor type. The remaining space varies in size and depends on the type of log entry. This section encapsulates the details of each log entry. Displayed on this slide is an example of a log entry. Following the RAT signature, you'll notice the timestamp for this entry, succeeded by its major and minor type. Then, the details section follows, where you can identify both the username and the IP address used to access the CCTV system's Web UI. In terms of automatically analyzing this evidence with the commercial tools and freeware we employ, we discovered they either overlook these log records or address them in a limited fashion. Given the lack of existing application to aid in the automatic recovery and interpretation of these records, we developed a new tool in Python. This tool was named HIKVISION Log Analyzer and is available on GitHub. The HIKVISION log analyzer is capable of carving stored logs from a raw image and parsing text files that contain HIKVISION system log records. Here, the main window of this tool is displayed. Whereas here, we showcase an example HTML report generated by our tool. As evident in the last column, the users from which each log record was retrieved is also documented, making it easier to validate its findings. Here, however, are some key considerations related to our tool. The tool does not support all log types due to the variable length of the details section. Updates to the system GUI or web UI or changes in a log type hex representation might yield inaccurate results. The HIKVISION log analyzer can extract information regardless of GUI and web UI password knowledge. It is designed to be extensible. Everyone here is welcome to contribute, whether by mapping undocumented log types or by coding to support currently unsupported ones. This slide here concludes the results section of the HIKVISION CCTV systems. Having discussed the findings related to the HIKVISION systems, let's now move on to the insights we gathered on the DAHUA Technology systems. DAHUA Technology's CCTV products with both its proprietary file system, known as the DAHUA file system or DSFS, and standard file systems like XFS. Previous research on the DAHUA file system has been conducted by Lee and Zhou. We've used the research as a starting point and focused on the log record part. To access the log records of the DAHUA Technology CCTV system, one should use the GUI or web UI and navigate to Settings, followed by the Information and Log window. From there, you can select the desired logs to export. Clicking the Backup button allows you to save them as text files. However, it is important to know that exporting log records is limited to 1 month entries per text file. As a result, exporting all stored logs might take a lot of time. What is worse, if an unknown password is set, it might hinder access to these log records. Fortunately, though, there are ways to bypass access to the web UI without knowing the password, such as by utilizing the DAHUA login bypass Chrome extension. Unfortunately, though, I do not have time to walk you through its uses, but I encourage you to visit its GitHub page to learn more about it. The same question arises once more. Where are these log records actually stored in the backend? Interestingly enough, the storage location varies based on the type of the CCTV system and the file system configuration of its storage media. In general, both the hard drive and the internal memory of the CCTV systems were utilized for their storage. Starting with the IP camera, this CCTV system stored its latest 1024 log records within its internal memory. Notably, though, no log records were found within microSD. These log records were exported through its web UI. The remaining CCTV systems stored certain log types within their hard drives, while others were stored in the internal memory. Regardless of their location, remember that all available log records are exportable through the GUI and web UI, provided their hard drive is not removed. Let's now discuss the log records stored within the CCTV system's internal memory. The types of these log records are displayed in this table. For example, if an investigator seeks log records documenting a format operation on the system's hard drive, they would find this log in the system's internal memory, not on the hard drive itself. This insight can be invaluable for those intensively searching the hard drive for such information. These log records can be exported via the GUI or web UI. On the other hand, here you can see the log type stored within the CCTV system's hard drive. If an investigator searches for user login records, they would find this log in the system's hard drive. We will now explore further the log records stored on the CCTV system's hard drive. These log records can be recovered differently depending on the file system configuration of the hard drive. While we identified 2 file system setups, others might exist in the wild. The hard drives of the CCTV systems we used had either a single partition formatted with DHFS or two partitions, one with DHFS and another with XFS. Beginning with the hard drives utilizing the latter file system setup, their log records were stored in a SQLite database located within the XFS partition. No log records were identified in the DHFS partition. The primary SQLite database containing the bulk of the log records was named serial number underscore log.db, where serial number denotes each CCTV system's serial number. If the CCTV system supports AI features, additional files are generated which could be proven useful. Again, due to time constraints, these artifacts will not be discussed in this talk, but please read our publications for more information related to them. For instance, this is a snapshot of the vlog table from the serial number underscore log.db database. Highlighted in the red box, you can see a typical representation of a login log entry in this database. For the hard drives that use the alternative setup, we retrieved files similar to the ones previously mentioned, but through carving. Given that DFIR is proprietary, we were unable to recover any additional metadata related to these carved files, such as file names. However, the information within this file was consistent with what was discovered in the XFS partition. When it comes to the automatic analysis of this evidence, using the commercial tools and freeware at our disposal, we discovered they overlooked this log record completely. As a consequence, it remains up to the investigator to collect, examine, and interpret this log record. This slide here concludes our results section. Having shared our findings, let's now switch our focus to the discussion section, where we will explore the implication of our work and the forensic value of this log record. You might wonder, okay, Evangelos, why should we focus on this artifact? Why are these log records crucial for our investigation? Well, the answer lies in the unique insights these log records provide. There are certain queries arising in real investigation that can only be addressed through these log records, as video footage falls short. Here are some examples of such questions, underscoring the importance of this often overlooked source of evidence. While this study provides valuable insight, it does come with certain limitations. Our research did not fully explore the evidentiary data within the internal memory of the CCTV system. Given that log records are housed there, a comprehensive forensic examination of this memory would be beneficial to investigation. Despite utilizing multiple CCTV systems aiming to elicit a diverse range of log types, many logs were not generated during our study. This is primarily due to the specific equipment chosen. CCTV systems with more advanced capabilities may produce a different set of log types than those we have discussed here. It is also worth noting that any firmware update could alter the manner in which log records are created or stored. In conclusion, as we wrap up this presentation, we will also highlight potential topics for future research. The key takeaways from this presentation today are as follows. The commercial software and freeware employed in this study either overlooked these log records or addressed them in a limited capacity. It remains up to the investigator to collect, examine, and interpret these log records. The information encapsulated within these logs can prove to be invaluable for real cases. Our research can be used as a reference point for investigation. As topics of future work, we are interested in examining the internal memory of the CCTV system, combining evidence from log records, mobile and Windows application in an forensic scenario, updating HIKVISION log analyzer to support more log types, developing software that can interpret DAHUA technology log records automatically. Here are the references that I mentioned earlier in my talk. And that is all from me. I hope you enjoyed this presentation as much as I did. I'm now ready to take any questions you may have in my Slack channel. Thank you, Chad.